Our business study class today will center on consumer rights. Our business study class today will center on consumer rights. What are the rights that consumers possess? Remember the other day we have discussed who an entrepreneur is, how we can discover business opportunities. Those are for the two previous classes we had. Today we want to talk about the consumer. What are the rights they possess? We are discussing this subject under three basic objectives. The meaning of consumer rights, what is consumerism, and then the 8 universal consumer rights that is widely accepted, globally accepted. What are these rights? We know these 8 points. And so the first point is meaning of consumer rights. When we talk about consumer rights, it is that right which the consumer possesses in the process of his buying of goods or services being rendered to him or her. That is backed up by law to help him get the utmost of what he's going to buy or the services he's going to receive. That's consumer rights. That legal backing, that right that an individual have, a consumer of a particular product or a consumer whom a services is rendered to, the right he possesses to have satisfaction, to derive satisfaction, to gain benefits for what he has asked for. That's consumer's rights. And so I put it this way, that this is a right aimed at protecting consumer when they buy goods or are rendered services. That consumers should be well informed about what they are buying so that if they are not satisfied, they will be able to seek compensation. That's to say, in the process of buying, if the consumer was misled into buying a product, he was not well informed, the consumer can seek for redress. The consumer can seek for compensation. If the consumer buy a fake product, the consumer can seek for compensation. If the consumer asks for a service to be rendered to him and you mislead him into paying a price and you didn't give him what he has asked for, he can seek for redress or seek for compensation. That's consumer right. The consumer has to be satisfied with what you are giving to him because you specified it. The consumer has to be satisfied with the services because you have specified what you're going to give to him. In the absence of that, if you give him something less than what he negotiated and bargained for, he has the authority, backed up by law, to seek redress and seek for compensation from the one who sells to him or the one who provides such service. That is consumer rights. So anytime you hear of consumer rights, know it's the right of a consumer to what he buys and the satisfaction he gets from what he buys, and that whatever he negotiated for is what he gets. Anything less than that, he will seek for compensation or redress. Now we go to the next point, which is consumerism. What is consumerism? Point is consumerism. What is consumerism? First, consumerism dates back in 1915, where there was advocacy to protect the right of consumers, and thereafter these rights were adjusted in the 1960s or in 1960 to suit the economy in order for consumers to be protected well as regards what they buy, advertisements, whether it's going to be a misleading advertisement or not. And thereafter, in the 21st century, this right was really promoted and advocated for the rights of buyers. So when we hear the word consumerism, it is just a word used, a set of policy that is put up to protect consumers from manufacturers in order for them not to buy fake products, dangerous products that can be harmful to their health. And then, if in case the manufacturer puts up a misleading advert, the seller the manufacturer will compensate the consumer for misleading him or her into buying a product. So consumerism is a policy that protects the buyer from the manufacturer as regards fake product, dangerous product, misleading advertisement that will affect the buyer. So in earnestness, it has to do with, it is a set of policy aimed at regulating the products, the services, the method and standard of manufacturers, sellers, and advertisers in the interest of the buyer. So consumerism has the interest of the buyer at heart. It has to regulate the products in which they give to the buyer, the services which they render to the buyer, the method and standard at which the manufacturer have produced this product, and then the kind of advertisement they put out to lure the buyer from buying it, from buying such product. So it is aimed at protecting the interest of the buyer, so that the buyer cannot be misled. That is consumerism. Consumerism, taken from the word consumer, consumer protection, consumer right, consumer advocacy, consumer policy to protect the consumer, the buyer, from the seller. What he manufactures, what he sells, advertisement, and quantity or quality of what he gives out to the consumer. That's consumerism. These are the 8 universal rights of a consumer. 1. Right to be informed, right to safety, right to redress, right to choice, right to get value for money, right to the good things of life, right to be heard, right to a healthy environment. First, right to be informed. The consumer have the right to be informed about what he wants to buy. The goods, he has to be informed. What are the ingredients in there? What is the quantity? What is the weight? The measurement, he has to be informed. Right to safety. The consumer have the right to consume goods that will not hurt him, and that he will shop or buy things in a safe environment that will not take his life, and that is not a lure to kill the consumer. Right to redress. In case of misleading advertisement, fake products, harmful products, the consumer have the right to go to the law court and get redress for compensation. Right to choice. There are a number of alternatives out there in the market. The consumer is not coerced to go buy a particular product. No. The consumer have the right to make choice out of the alternative that is put out in the market. Right to get value for his money. Anything the consumer wants to buy, there must be value. If there is no value attached to it, his money's value is nothing. And so he can seek for redress. So if you tell him this is what you are going to sell for him for that amount, that is what he gets. He gets value for his money. The quantity, the quality, the whatever specification is given there, the ingredient must be complete for him to have value for his money. Right, so the good things of life. If he has the money to shop whatever he wishes to, as far as it is money and he's gotten genuinely, he has the right to shop anything, have good things to like, and nobody restrict him on what to buy and what not to buy. Right to be heard. If in case he goes to court to seek for redress, seek for compensation, the court, he has the right to be heard by a judge and his case settled. His case has to come to court and then they have to redress his case. He has the right to be heard. A jury, a court, or whichever agency that is in charge have to hear his complaint and then fair judgment given. Their right to be held to a healthy environment. That the consumer have the right to shop in a clean environment, a healthy environment, a safe place that his life will not go, and the environment will not contaminate what he's going to buy. There must be safety measure, health measure put in place for him to shop correct and good products. So these are the rights of a consumer. Right to be informed, right to safety, right to redress, right to choice, value for his money, things of good life, he has rights to that. To be heard, he has rights to that. To shop in a healthy environment, he has rights to that. This is our class for today. So we see consumer protection. As somebody who goes out there to shop, know what your rights is and know when to seek redress and know that you are protected as a consumer. Thank you for dropping by. Comment, share, like our videos, and then tell others about what we do here. We give you educational stuff and we are happy to be here. Thank you for dropping by.